Luigi is often referred to as the eternal understudy, and rather unfairly in my opinion, as he is just as super as his older brother. He's ruthlessly efficient in Mario Kart, can jump higher than Mario, and took ghost busting to the next level. Now that Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is here, minus the Dark Moon moniker, Luigi fans get to experience the 3DS game with a makeover to suit the Nintendo Switch. What's it like? Put on some fresh overalls, grab your vacuum cleaner, and don't worry about who you're gonna call because Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is here and we're gonna review it right now. Let's start off by addressing the haunted woolly mammoth in the room. This is a 1-to-1 remaster of Luigi's Mansion 2 on 3DS. There's no new content added to the game, and to me, this isn't a bad thing. I've seen some very odd takes on this particular remaster since it launched, and I'm honestly baffled as to why it's singled out. But hopefully, we can take an objective look at this further into the review. Before we start ghost busting, would you mind liking and subscribing? It's the best way that outlets like What's It Like can get found on YouTube, and I can't thank you enough for doing so. Luigi's Mansion 2 is the follow-up to the wildly popular GameCube title that originally debuted on the 3DS in 2013, and it was a part of the Year of Luigi that Nintendo had declared, seeing Luigi momentarily take the spotlight off his bigger brother. The story revolves around King Boo returning to create chaos by destroying the Dark Moon, a gem-like object that keeps ghosts in check in Evershade Valley, the game's setting. Luigi is reluctantly called into action by Professor Egad to wrangle up the ghosts and return the pieces of the Dark Moon to restore peace to the valley. It was originally developed by Canadian studio Next Level Games, while Shigeru Miyamoto supervised. But this HD remaster is handled by Tantalus Media, who previously took care of the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD project on the Wii U. As Luigi's Mansion was originally designed as a portable experience, the gameplay revolves around bite-sized missions that take 20 to 30 minutes each to complete, as you bust ghosts, solve puzzles, and hunt for treasure. The departure from the first game is that instead of being set in a singular mansion, you have 5 main mansions to explore, each with its own mystery, mechanics, and adventure. There's a lot of variety between the mansions, which keeps the gameplay interesting, as well as introducing new ghost types and strategies to defeat them right up until the final mission. The bite-sized mission structure works perfectly in short bursts for gamers on the go, although gamers who want a more solid session may get frustrated by being teleported out by Professor Egad every 20 to 30 minutes. For those looking to take a break from the single-player narrative, there is an option to matchmake or play online with 3 other friends and attempt to clear a tower of ghosts. This mode saw some fast and frantic action, which I enjoyed as a nice distraction. Controls have been reworked slightly since the original models of 3DS lacked a secondary control stick, and the twin stick setup now allows for more precise ghost busting. There are also gyro controls, which I usually dislike in games, but I found myself using them a lot, especially when it came to aiming the torch, and it made gameplay response time so much faster and so much smoother. Graphically, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD has had quite the glow up, with a much higher poly count on models, improved lighting, and environment detail. And, of course, the HD upgrade makes everything sharper. But this isn't a simple upscale, as every character model and location has been meticulously rebuilt in higher detail. While the graphics aren't on the same level as Luigi's Mansion 3, they are still impressive, and the game doesn't falter from a locked 30 frames per second. There are some artifacts left over, like 2D shapes that have been left behind, but I honestly don't think people will notice them unless you're actively looking for them. The real stars of Luigi's Mansion 2 though are the animation team, who's managed to make Luigi say so much despite his limited dialogue. Luigi is very animated in his reactions to the world around him, and the comical look of fear and surprise never wears thin. Luigi nervously tiptoes through sections of the levels that are still haunted, cautiously opening doors, and happily trots around well-lit and cleared areas. This character and charm is what makes Luigi's Mansion 2 such a delight and such a step up from Luigi's Mansion 1, and it makes it hard for the player not to both sympathise at Luigi's situation while simultaneously laughing at it. Luigi is the quintessential reluctant hero, the assuming underdog, and it makes the game so much more enjoyable when you beat a level. There are also endearing personality quirks, like when he escorts toads. He carefully ushers them into new areas and high-fives them when they solve a puzzle together, and it just makes it such a wonderful game. There are some minor frustrations with Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, however, like having to restart the entire mission should you be defeated. This really only came into play for me in the final mansion, as there are some difficult battles that require you to defeat an army of ghosts. Slip up, and you might have to spend another 20 to 30 minutes restarting and duking it out to progress. For my vision impaired ghost hunters, there are no accessibility options, and the game is rather dark at times. As always, I recommend doing further research to find out if Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is for you. At $80 Australian, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD falls under a very premium price. And this is what seems to have divided gamers and critics alike. On one hand, people are saying that the price point is high for a game that doesn't really add anything new. But this game was also considered a 10 out of 10 game back in the day. So for me, as a big fan of the original, I just found the graphical upgrade and the control rework to make this the definitive version of the game. And while I did receive a review copy of Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, I did also purchase a copy for my kids who have been thoroughly enjoying playing through it. In my opinion, if you haven't played the game before, then this is an essential purchase and a thoroughly enjoyable adventure that will last you around 20 to 30 hours, even more for completionists. For those who did experience the original, then I would say that this is just a great way to revisit that classic game. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is a faithful, gorgeous, and fun remaster that will have you smiling when the credits roll. It has a gorgeous graphics engine that just brings the world to life, complemented by outstanding animation that oozes personality and charm. It's a grand adventure that's hard to put down, and while it does have some minor frustrations, the gameplay just keeps you engaged right until the very end. The price point may haunt some gamers, but those who invest are in for a great time revisiting this amazing game. So, what's it like? Luigi's Mansion 2 is like if the Mario Brothers crossed over with Ghostbusters. I award it a 90 out of 100, securing Luigi's Mansion 2 HD as a What's It Like certified exceptional game. In the interest of full disclosure, a review copy was provided by Nintendo Australia, but this does not influence my score. Thank you for watching. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. The best way you can support me is to like and subscribe and continue watching my content if you enjoy it. But if you do want to go that bit extra, you can buy me a coffee or join our Patreon, which shows you behind the scenes of this channel. Thanks again.